Tony Bellew is currently the WBC Cruiserweight Champion Emeritus, which means that he can come back down to Cruiserweight at any point and get an immediate crack at the WBC Cruiserweight title, which is held by Maris Breedis at the moment, I believe. That is the situation as far as I'm aware. Now, Bellew has now set his sights. I mean, he's talking about the Hay rematch that might be happening, but he's also set his sights potentially on a fight with Andre Ward, because Ward, or at least his trainer, has been talking about moving up to heavyweight and taking on Anthony Joshua, among other people. So I'm going to quote Tony Bellew directly here. And by the way, the two guys do know each other. I believe they do anyway. Tony Bellew and Andre Ward, they both starred in the movie Creed. So here we go. Tony Bellew, this is his quote. He says, "He's a great guy. If he really wants to do it, I'm game. It's as simple as that. Like I say, I do respect him. He's an amazing fighter. He's very good at what he does. But I'm a full-blown big cruiserweight. I'm not a light heavyweight who is struggling anymore, and I've shown that I can deal with one of the most powerful heavyweights in the world. I would have no problem dealing with Andre Ward. I am willing to do it. Not a problem, as long as I have some say this time, because last time I had zero say, and I was quite open about saying that in the build-up. The only thing I could do was choose my gloves and choose my shorts, but this time I want a little bit more say in how things are going to go and how things are ran, and in the percentages as well. I had zero say last time." So those are the words of Tony Bellew. The second part of the quote, where I said I am willing to do it, not a problem, is where he starts talking about David Haye, the rematch with David Haye. The first part of the quote where he's talking about, where he's talking about I'm a full-blown cruiserweight and all that, is where he's talking about dealing or fighting Andre Ward. Now, I don't see a Ward fight happening because, I mean, anything is possible, and I'm not counting it out completely, but I don't see it happening because Tony Bellew is not currently a title holder. If he still had that WBC belt, or if he can get it back, then I think the chances of Andre Ward fighting him increase exponentially. I don't think Andre Ward is purely in this game for money. Obviously, he wants to make money, a lot of money, but I also think that legacy is very important to Andre Ward. So Bellew is not a big enough name, I don't think, for Ward to want to fight him without a title on the line. There are certain fighters out there who may generate enough money for Ward to actually want to fight them without any titles. But I don't think Bellew is one of those guys. So I doubt the fight happens. But if it did happen, who would your money be on? Me personally, I think Andre Ward could actually beat Bellew, even at cruiserweight. I don't think Bellew, Bellew's a decent boxer, but his skills are nothing special. And I personally believe that Ward is exceptionally skilled and he would still beat Bellew. That's my view. Maybe you disagree. If I was promoting or managing Andre Ward, I would try and push hard for Ward to fight Triple G Gennady Golovkin, or the winner of Golovkin Canelo, maybe at super middleweight. I would try and push hard for that because that seems like the most obvious way to go for him commercially. He's on HBO. Triple G's on HBO. Canelo's on HBO. Kovalev was on HBO. They're all HBO guys. And they're not so far apart in weight that fighting would be impossible. Golovkin says that when he unifies, he's going to move up to 168 pounds eventually anyway. So maybe Ward could come down in weight for a one-off fight and fight Triple G. I seriously doubt Triple G would want that work, particularly after seeing what Ward did to Kovalev. HBO, I don't think would encourage that fight either. HBO have their favorites. One of their favorites was Kovalev. Another two of their favorites are Canelo and certainly Triple G. Andre Ward has never been one of HBO's favorites despite being one of their commentators. As a fighter, they've never seemed to favor him that much. Now, some people may say the judges favor Andre Ward. I'm not saying they do, but a lot of other people may say they do. The judges and officials may favor Andre Ward, but the judges and officials are completely separate from HBO, the television company. The judges and officials are the Nevada State Athletic Commission or, whichever jurisdiction the fight takes place in. Those are not the same as the television company. The television company, they have their favorites, the fighters they push and the fighters they protect more so than others. The fighters they let get away with certain things, the fighters they criticize more than other fighters that they have on their television network. And yeah, I think Golovkin is one of their darlings at the moment. So is Canelo. Would they really allow Andre Ward? Would they really be pushing for an Andre Ward, Canelo or Golovkin fight? I doubt it, to be honest with you. I doubt it. I think they would rather build up those guys to be something spectacular than rather have them, rather than have them taken down by an Andre Ward. And that's what I think would happen. I don't see Canelo or Golovkin beating Andre Ward, even at 168 pounds. And I know Ward is too big for that weight really now. But unless he's crazy big, I think he could probably still make that weight at a push. And I think he could beat both of those guys. I've always felt he could beat Golovkin. I've always felt that. And I've always felt that he would beat Golovkin easier than he'd beat Kovalev. You know, in fact, I picked Kovalev to beat him. But I always told anybody who would listen that I think Andre Ward beats Golovkin. So anyway, going off on a different tangent there, what do you think about Tony Bellew versus Andre Ward? That's what this video is really about. Maybe I'll do a separate video about Andre Ward versus those other guys. So yeah, let me know how you feel about it, people. Will this fight happen? Bellew versus Ward. If it did happen, who would win? Drop your comments in the comment section below. It's your boy Hatman. I'm out.